Hello, hello, and welcome back to our CSD Live webcast. I am Robert Cooper. Today I'll be presenting on identity theft. Identity theft is the problem is expanding very quickly the more people deal with the internet and the more people socialize and do business with people that they've never seen before. Today, this webcast will hopefully add to your knowledge base, help you protect yourself in the future from any identity theft. Ideally, you want to avoid it at all costs, but the first step in doing that is to know what it is that you're avoiding and knowing about what you can do to protect yourself from identity theft, and how to solve it if these problems do arise. Hopefully you'll share this with your friends and family and prevent more people from becoming victims to identity theft. Identity theft happens whenever someone steals your personal information, such as your name, social security number, credit card, etc., without your permission, and uses this information to commit crimes of fraud or other crimes. Identity theft happens to millions of people every year in America. Chances are someone you know has been a victim of identity theft. One way that this can happen is people rummaging through trash. Maybe they find an old checking account statement or check stub, credit card number, or something like that. Maybe they use your name to sign up for credit cards or something like that. And many people don't notice that they've been victims of identity theft until much later, whenever a loan that they've applied for gets turned down, or they realize that they owe money on something that they haven't purchased. It takes many thousands of dollars to clean up the mess made by identity theft, and a long time of working to get this to clear your name from identity theft. Perhaps you're applying for a loan for a house or education. Maybe you're applying for a credit card, and it gets turned down. You might wonder why, and it could be because of identity theft. They steal your information. People steal your information and use it for many different ways. Maybe they steal your mail, and maybe they steal your wallet. A lot of times they will pose as an official institution like a bank and send you mail or email and try to get information from you, posing as a bank so that you would trust them more. They can even get on the computer and break into your accounts. So hopefully using this information will protect you from identity theft. It can happen friends and family can be thieves of your identity, so you just need to be wary about this. Now, after someone steals your identity, what can they do with it? They have your information now. We have many examples of what they can do. There's credit card fraud, such as they could open a credit card in your name, or use a credit card that is yours, and then you won't know it until you owe lots of money later on and they try and come and get the money from you. Perhaps they can try to open accounts with phone utilities or banks, such as the electric company. Maybe they want to open a phone account, or they want to set up a phone account at their location under your name, maybe cable, maybe even a bank account, and then write bad checks, and it's all under your name so it doesn't trace back to them. They might pose as you and authorize electronic fund transfers and deplete the money in your account. Another way that they'll do that, another thing they can do is forge government documents. Maybe they can use your name and go apply for Social Security income, or other types of government monetary programs. Also, they can do other types of fraud, such as applying for jobs under your name, or committing a crime, posing as you whenever the police catch them, and then they don't show up for court, and the police come and find you. because it was your name that they committed these crimes under. So it's really important to know what they can do and how to prevent these things. A lot of times people don't notice the problems really quickly. If you do notice them really quickly, then it's not as hard to repair the damage done. One thing, the Federal Trade Commission has set up a program called Avoid Identity Theft. Avoid ID Theft. This is the web address right here. Now, if you suspect that your identity has been stolen, you can go there and they will help you. There are 3 steps to this. Deter, detect, and defend. And you notice we have little symbols here that match with each of these 3 components. Deter has the lock, detect has the magnifying glass, and defend has a shield. Just like you're fighting to keep your identity safe. Now we'll focus on deter. This is regarding protecting your information, such as, if you have any papers that you're going to throw away, shred them so that if anybody does find them, they're unable to use the information that they find. Another thing is protecting your Social Security number. Very few places actually need your Social Security number, and the few that do have a good reason. So just be careful with that. Also, don't give out personal information unless you absolutely must. Another way to protect yourself is to not use passwords that are the same for everything that you have, or just easy one-word passwords. You want to make it hard for someone to find that password. Now, deterring, maybe you should think about, what is this for? Why am I giving these people my information? Is this normal? If the police or bank sends you an email asking for information, that could be pretty fraudulent. Police and banks typically don't send emails asking for information, so you should probably disregard that. Also, you want to focus on and deal with people that you know who they are, or you can actually see them or where they're located. If you can't see them or you can't find the office that they're located in, it's probably not a good idea to do business with them. Also, if you feel hurried or pressured to give them the information, then that's probably not a valid organization either. Most of the time, if it's an emergency, people will come to you in person and ask for money. If you get a page from a family member or friend saying, "Hey, I need some money, wire it to me," you should be wary of things like that. Another thing is ask questions. Do not be afraid to be assertive and ask questions. You want to feel comfortable with who you're giving your money and identity and information for, too. The next is detect. It's important to be aware and be alert and watchful. Double check and do some research into the organizations or agencies that you're giving your information to. Also, inspect your credit report and financial statements. Make sure that they look appropriate, that there's nothing on there that you didn't know about, and things like that. Keeping up to date on these and keeping yourself aware of any changes or anything in your credit report or financial statements makes it easier to fix damages done by identity theft should someone steal your identity. Now, there's a law saying that you can get a free credit report from each of the 3 credit bureaus once a year. That's Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. You can contact them directly, or you can get them all 3 at the same time. You can go to freecreditreport.com, and they have this information where you can find your credit reports. Also, anytime you apply for a loan or anything like that, maybe for a credit card, if they decline your application, then that's called a negative decision. Anything negative decision would include higher payments, more of a deposit, higher interest rates. If there is a negative decision, they have to tell you within 30 days, and you have the right to look at your credit report and see why they turned you down. This is another way of detecting any fraudulent activity that's going on under your name. Unfortunately, the law doesn't include anything about positive decisions, meaning if you get approved for the loan, you have good payments, low interest rates, things like that, you might not can access your credit report for free. Now you can go to this link, annualcreditreport.com, and find your credit report. It's free. You can only do it once a year, but you can do it once every year, and there's no cost to do that. I would suggest doing it once a year. Anything more than that is probably going to cost you money, but once a year is probably enough. Lastly, defend. And take action to stop any damage done to your identity. As soon as you suspect that something is fishy, something's not right, you need to act right away. And nowadays you can place fraud alerts on your credit reports by calling each of these 3 numbers for Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. If you've already set up contact with them through email, then you might can have an email every time there's fraudulent suspected activity on your account. But it's better to call them and ask and make sure. Now also, if you're applying for anything and if you notice that there is fraud, then you can have a lot of times you can have the fraudulent activity taken off of your credit cards and things. Now, you still need to make sure and protect yourself and be aware. If you notice that there's an account that might have been hacked into, go ahead and close that. Also, you might go to the police and file a police report saying that someone has committed fraudulent activity under your name. You might have to fill out an affidavit, which is just a statement saying that you swear that what you're saying is true and that these fraudulent activity was not done by you. Also, you can contact the Federal Trade Commission. The reason you would contact them, they work with many police and other law enforcement agencies and try and catch people who steal identities, and having more information would lead to a higher success rate for them. You can go to this website down here, and this is the one that would help catch people who are identity thieves. Also now, if you have any questions, you can please just email us at csdlive@c-s-d.org, or you can contact us at the Project Endeavor Center. We provide many resources and can refer you to many other services that would help guide you through repairing your credit. So thanks for joining us today, and we look forward to you joining us in the future. Bye-bye.